Hey everyone, Kyle Arsenal with The Athletic Way here in Bedford, New Hampshire. And today I want to go over one of the most common movement flaws that we see with our athletes, all the way from our youth competitive athletes to our general fitness athletes of daily life with our adults, okay? And that is lack of true hip extension. And what hip extension is when we have our femur up towards the kind of our chest, and when that femur moves down and away, that is hip extension. And if you think about that in the weight room purpose, that is anything from coming up out of a squat to coming up out of a deadlift, coming up out of a lunge. That is extension. To our athletics, which is running, jumping, cutting. All that involves hip extension. So when we don't have true hip extension, what we do have is a lot of compensatory movements likely taking place in the low back and below the hip, which cause low back pain, can cause hamstring strains, and all kinds of different overuse injuries that we don't want. Okay, so one of the best exercises, the most simple exercises that we can use is what we call the wall glute isomarch. And this really helps us understand where we should be in hip extension. It allows us to fire the muscles that allow us to get to true hip extension. Now, some athletes do have true shortened hip flexors, so even this exercise won't fix that, but in conjunction with some soft tissue work, this exercise, the wall glute isomarch, is a great one to throw in there. Okay, so you can use it as a core patterning one, as a warm-up, continuation of a warm-up, all kinds of different things. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna get to a wall, arms are gonna be extended, and you're gonna be about 40 to 50 degrees from the wall, give or take, as you go from there, okay? And what we end up wanting to do, core is tight, because what we wanna do is as we bring one leg into hip flexion, okay, the other one into hip extension, we don't wanna let our torso slump into this. So that's a very common movement flaw with this exercise. Okay, so what we want to do, nice and straight, you kind of want to wedge yourself in the wall, like you're creating a wedge right to that wall, nice and strong here and long. And you're going to bring one leg up, you're going to push the floor away with the downside as you try to squeeze that glute. Okay, lock that in, march to the other side, do not let the hips shift side to side as we transition, squeeze the glute with the downside. Okay, so there's our wall glute isomarch. So again, what that looks like running, looks like sprinting, and what we're trying to do is stay nice and long, core stiff, get true hip extension on that back leg. You can then take a band, let me grab a band here, and you can add a band for resistance to make it a little more challenging, get a little more hip flexor, a little more core involvement here. Okay, so band goes around the laces, get into your angled wall, wedge yourself in, drive up, core is long, upper back is long, come back down. Okay, drive that floor away, stay nice and long and strong for that down leg. So again, what we're looking for there is true hip extension. Can I push that leg all the way down and back without letting my back move around? That is going to help us pattern hip extension, which again will help us within all of our daily movements within the weight room, but also our running, sprinting, jumping, and cutting. Okay, so for some more information, if you want to reach out, Kyle@theathleticway.com. Go ahead and shoot me any questions you have on that one.